Hey, everybody. I just want you to all learn how to use the layers in Photopea. It's also the same as it is in Photoshop. So I'm going to show you how to do that with a little practice piece that you can practice coloring. So I'm going to show you how to color with the paint bucket and use the layers in Photopea. Photoshop is the same way, so you'll already know how to do that. So I'm going to open the assignment. So I'm going to open it from my computer. And I have this little file called Layer Practice Sandwich. And as you can see, when it opens up, it has the layers already on here. If it doesn't, then you would go up and you would go to Layer and then, or Window, and open the layers. Okay, so that's where you find the layers, is under Window. All of these little floating menus that you see come up like that. But this should open this way, I hope. If not, then you look for the layers there. So what you see here is the parts of a sandwich, okay? And you see a little eyeball next to all of them. Okay, so each piece of the sandwich is on its own layer. So I have a slice of bread, one slice, two slice, and then I have tomato, lettuce, cheese, and meat. And I want you to put this sandwich in the order that I show you here, not because I want you to make a sandwich exactly like mine and be rigid, but because I want you to show me that you understand how the layers work and how to put them in the proper order. Okay, when you want to name a layer, all you do is you can create a new layer right here. It's next to the little trash can at the bottom of the layers, and that will make a new layer, but you're not going to do that for this. So if you want to delete it, you just right click and delete, but that's where you create a new layer. You can also copy layers by clicking on a layer. Like when I made my first piece of bread, I right clicked and I said duplicate layer, and then I can have a copy. Okay, so that's how you can manipulate the layers. My birdie is saying hello. I don't know if you can hear her. So the first thing that we're going to do is color everything, okay? But what I want you to see is that these layers can move around. So I can click on tomato, and if I press and hold, I can drag it and put it anywhere I want. So I can put it up here, or I can put it, I'm going to undo it, but you just click and drag. Okay, so before we arrange them, we're going to color them. So I'm going to turn off everything except the bottom layer. So you just click the eyeball to hide it or unhide it. It's still there, it's just hidden. Okay, so we're going to do that. And you want to, whenever you want to work on something, you want to make sure that it's highlighted. See how it's highlighted in gray? So I'm going to zoom in, pressing my space bar and command. I can zoom in and out. I want to color the tomatoes, so I'm going to use the color down here, and this is the foreground, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to pick a nice red that's kind of orange, orangey red, like a tomato color, and click OK. Now, the paint bucket, if you didn't see it, usually it defaults to being the gradient tool, but it's nested under the gradient tool, so it's down near the middle, and it looks like a graduated gray, like a little grayscale. Press and hold and choose paint bucket. And that's how you can dump color into something. So I'm going to dump, I'm just clicking and clicking. Okay, that's not quite as red as I'd like it. You can change the colors. So anytime you want to change the color, you just click on the color, and then you can pick the color and then click OK. And then you can just click right on top of whatever it was before. Now you have to be really careful. If you click on the line, it's going to color all of that black. I don't want you to do that either. So I want you to show me that you can control your paint bucket, and all of your items should have the black outline. So it looks like a coloring book, right? All right, I'm done with the tomato. I'm going to zoom back out. When I hit Command 0 on my keyboard, it zooms the whole page down so you can see the whole thing. I'm going to hide the tomato, and I'm going to go to bread 1. So I'm gonna see how tomato is highlighted. I wanna make sure that I click on bread one and unhide it by clicking the eyeball. I don't have to really zoom in because it's not very detailed, so I can just do it at this level. I'm gonna click on the color, and then usually to get sort of a tan color, you go to orange, and I want you to color it. So make it a color bread, make it at least some kind of color. It's not, white bread isn't white, right? It's got some kind of color to it. So I'm gonna just make it a little tan color. I'm gonna click on that. And then I'm gonna do the second slice of bread. See, whoops. There's a woodpecker clicking on my house. Interesting, that just flew away. So the second bread, look at what I just did. I unhid bread number 2 and I went to click on it and look what happened. It colored all of the outside because I was still on bread 1. So if that happens to you, you can do Command Z or Control Z. Make sure you selected that layer, okay? And then I can click on it. Right, so I'm gonna hide the bread. And I'm gonna go to the lettuce. So I'm clicking on the lettuce and I'm unhiding the lettuce. Now you wanna zoom in on the lettuce a little because there's some small parts on there that you wanna get, like see that part right there? I'm gonna zoom way in. I'm gonna pick a lettuce color, a green. It's pretty bright for green, but whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna click in there, and there, and there, and there, and then I'm gonna zoom back out. And now, don't forget, if you accidentally hit the black line, just hit Command or Control Z and it'll undo it. But make sure that you have all of the fills, but all the lines are still black. Okay, I got the lettuce done. I'm gonna go to the cheese. I'm gonna pick a cheese color. Yellow. Well, it's usually a little bit orangey. That's good. Okay, hide my cheese. Now I'm gonna do the meat. If you want it to be ham, you might make it pink. If you want it to be turkey, it might be tan, but try to make it different than the bread. I'll make it a slice of ham. So I'm gonna go for like a red up here. Now see how if I slide up and down this little rainbow scale, right? That's the little different hues, the colors of the rainbow. See how it changes? So I can get a light color or a dark color, but I find the color first, the hue, and then I click in the lighter part. So I'm going to make it, that looks sort of hammy color. I'm going to click OK and click that. All right, so now I want to put my sandwich together. So I'm going to unhide all these things. All right, so now I see that they're all color. So actually I'm going to hide everything except bread 1. I'm going to click on that so it's highlighted, and I'm going to go to the move tool, which is the top arrow. And I'm going to click the bread and I'm going to put it up near the middle. Then I'm going to unhide the meat. And I'm going to put that on top of the bread. Oh, whoops, I forgot to say that I want you to drag the bread to the bottom. So we're going to drag the bread 1 to the bottom because that's the very bottom of the sandwich. And then the meat, I'm going to drag that right above bread 1. So bread, meat, okay? So you want to make sure, and I'm just going to move it over just a little bit. I want to be able to see the sandwich bottom. So I'm going to just have a little bit of it showing. Then I want you to put the cheese. Okay, so we're going to drag the cheese above the meat, and you have to do this in this order because I want to know that you know how to arrange your layers. Very important. Unhide the cheese, and we're going to drag that on. So you should be able to see bread, meat, cheese, and then we're going to put lettuce. So I'm going to drag the lettuce down above the cheese, unhide it, and I'm going to move it. And I want you to put it like that so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. And then actually the tomato and bread are already in the right place. So I'm going to click on the tomato and unhide it, and I'm going to put that on top. Then I'm going to take the last slice of bread. I'm going to unhide that and put it on the top. So I have made a sandwich where you can see bread 1, meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato, top bread. Okay. And that's the whole thing. If you want to move all of your layers together, you can press shift and click the bottom layer and see how it highlighted all of them. And now I can grab the whole thing and move it all together. Okay, so but you have to make sure they're all selected. So when you're done, I want you to take a screenshot of this. Okay, because I want to see that you have your layers in the right order. So I want you to do Command-Shift-4 or however you take a screenshot. And I want you to just get this whole thing like that. I want to see at least all of this. So if you can highlight the section or just take a picture of the whole screen window on your browser window, that's fine. But that's what I want to see. So then I should see all of this. So have fun practicing your layers today, and then we'll talk more about what to do with your quad.